And a very good morning to you. Actually, I don't think you got the music then on the audio stream, did you? Hey, did I miss the music out? A very good morning to you. Welcome to another hour of fun. Yes, it's the live United Kingdom talk from myself, Chris Reardon. Lots of emails. I would like to try and clear some of the backlog of emails this morning. Already a message in today before we've even started. Little Tom. There's Tom who's in Tooting, a very, very rough area of London. Good morning, Tom. And Mark's with us. Up to north, aren't you? Mark, who works on the railways. Yes, he is Casey Jones. Who remembers that? Casey Jones. Oh, hang on. I forgot again, haven't I? Hang on. There we are. Just about remembered to push the record button. I tell you what. Let's have the opening film again, as you just missed that. Here we go. Okay, well, that doesn't work, but never mind, we're here. We're here, and we're all together. Good morning, Mark. Nice to hear from you already, sir. How is life on those railways? Who remembers Casey Jones? Casey Jones, steaming and a-rolling, Casey Jones. You never have to guess when you hear the tooting of the whistle. It's Casey at the throttle of the Cannonball Express. Are you Casey Jones, Mark? That's the question. Now, you can join in at any time if you want to, boys and girls. If you have Skype, my Skype username is United Kingdom Radio. All one word, okay? United Kingdom Radio. Or indeed, you can phone in as well. The phone-in number is 020 3287 1488. Okay? 020 3287 1488. Now, before we go on to the emails, I have a couple of bits of bad news, actually. Number one, the bee's nest has gone. Do you remember I told you there was a bee's nest under my shed? Yep, I was observing little bumblebee, and they were bumblebees. They were, I think, they were white-tailed bumblebees going in and out of under the shed. But I'm afraid they've gone. I don't know why. I wrote a little email to the bee people. Oh, yes. Yeah, they had their own website and everything. Wrote an email to the bee people telling them that they were there. Okay, they wrote an email back. Thank you very much for writing. Would you mind watching them for a while and telling us what they're up to? And then I noticed they were no longer going in and out, which was all very worrying, really. The bees have gone. Either that or they've died in their nest. What a way to go in your bed. Mind you, possibly preferable to them being involved in a multi-car accident or something like that, I suppose. Would it be? Thug Ashley says, good morning, Chris. Please tell me if it's my computer that has lost you or that you have gone. No, I'm still here. Let me have a look. Am I here? I'm here. No, I'm still here. I think it's you, Lil. I think it's you, Lil. I think it's you, Lil. Poor old Lil. She has trouble with her computer and no one to help. You could get helpers in, you know, but you have to pay them, unfortunately. So the bee's nest has gone. The other news I've got is I think I spoke to you since I last took the cat into the vet. Got to take her in again this afternoon. If you didn't see the show last Thursday, you won't know that she's got something on her tongue, sort of halfway back on her tongue, and it's either an ulcer or a tumour. And I keep calling them the dentist for some reason. I have been to the dentist as well. Oh, it's all right. Don't rush me. I'll come on to that. Okay, it's the vet. The vet is really not sure if it's an ulcer or a tumour. So, I mean, I've got everything crossed here, hoping that it's an ulcer. I thought it might be a bee sting because the cat, where she sleeps in the garden, it was very next to the bee's nest, which has now disappeared. Maybe she caught a bee, right? And it stung up. Here's my theory, okay? I think she's caught a bee in her mouth. It stung her. That's why her tongue's come up. And the bees have been frightened away by the cat. It kind of makes sense, doesn't it? So I've got everything crossed, and I'm going to the vet again this afternoon. I shall let you know on Thursday's show if it's good news or bad news. And I do hope it's not bad news because I love my little... She's the most friendly cat in the world. I mean, she really is a lovely, lovely cat. I've just had her in the living room this morning before I come up to see you while I was watching the awful Jeremy Kyle show. Me and Katie and my friends downstairs as well. Ron has come over for today. That's my best friend. He does kitchens. He does my kitchen. Oh, don't worry, I do pay him. Yes, I do pay him to do that. Oh, I haven't got time to do cleaning and kitchens and all that. You know me. You know me, eh? No, I can't be bothered to pick up cloths and wipe things over. I mean, what was it I did the other day? Oh, yes, I did. Has anyone done this recently? A drawer clearing. What is a drawer clearing? Now, I bet in your house, and you can message me and tell me this if you have or not. Have you got a drawer in your kitchen where everything goes that you're not sure what to put where? You know, sometimes you're perhaps in the kitchen, you're doing something, and then you've got something on. Oh, I don't know where to put that. I'll put it in that drawer. Have you got one of those drawers? A drawer. What should we call it? A drawer of many things. Yeah, a drawer of many things. Have you got one of those? Okay. Well, I've got one. I had my kitchen put in. Blimey. 18 years ago. No, probably when I moved here in 1992. 19 years ago, I had my kitchen put in. And ever since then, I've had the drawer of many things. I don't want you to think that I'm dirty, okay? But the fact is, this drawer has never, ever been emptied. It's true. The drawer has never been emptied. And Saturday, because, as I say, my mate Ron is looking after my kitchen at me. It does cleaning things and all. I've been very, very busy. He keeps going on at me to clear that drawer out. In fact, I don't think he's noticed it yet. Ron! Just a minute. Let's just give him a shout. Ron! Ron! Did you have a look in that drawer? The drawer that you told me to clear out? No, look, yeah, I'm just cleaning the oven. Do have a look, dear. I will in a second. I'm cleaning the oven. Okay. So it's cleaning the oven at the moment. He does it all. It's marvellous, isn't it? Eh? Comes round once a week and does my kitchen. Oh, it's wonderful. I get the floor mopped and everything. I love it. I do pay him. No, I don't expect things to be done for nothing. You see, I'm a very funny person with having people in the house. I don't really like to have people in the house that I don't know, whether it be workmen or anything like that. Mind you, I had a very good workman yesterday. This man, I picked him. Where did I come across him? Oh, yeah, the estate agent. I know the people at the estate agent. And I needed a little bit of work done a while ago, a cupboard put back on a wall. I can't do these DIY things. It's beyond me to try and do this stuff, right? And I had outside last week one of my down... I don't know what... Is it a down pipe from the guttering? It's a square pipe that goes from the guttering at the top down the back of the house. And it was smashed. Now, I don't know how this has happened. I really haven't got a clue how this has happened, because no one can get in my garden. I'm surrounded by those big thorny, bushy things. There's only me that comes in the garden, so I'm not quite sure how this has happened. But nevertheless, it was all broken, and whenever it rained, the water would pour out of there, and that part of the house was always damp, which is not a good thing, really. So I got this bloke out, and he came round yesterday. There was him and his mate, and they're quite old, both of them. They're sort of around about 55, I would say. But they do such a good job, and they don't take the mick with the pricing. The two of them were here. They had to order this pipe off the internet, right, because they don't seem to be able to get any of these square down pipes anymore. And I think it took him about 2 weeks to get this part. Anyway, it came eventually. He came round yesterday morning. He got here. He said, "What time do you want me round there?" I said, "About 12 o'clock, mate." I said, "About 10 past 12, there's a knock on the door." I mean, brilliant. He's really good. These people are like gold dust, okay? And he was here with a friend, or the bloke he works with. Oh, excuse me. Just a minute. Oh, I think I need another cup of tea. He was here with his mate for about an hour and a quarter. And he charged me. I said, "How much are you, mate?" £80. See? £80. That's everything. £80. I mean, I give him 90. I said, "Go and get yourself some lunch with your mate." So these people are so hard to find, aren't they? How many times have you called someone out of the yellow pages, and it's like £120 call-out charge before they've lifted a finger? £80. That was all included, which is just brilliant, isn't it? Eh? Brilliant. But I generally don't like people who I don't know in my house. I'm a strange old character like that. Well, not old. Well, maybe a bit old. I don't know. I don't like people in the house I don't know. So that's why Ron comes around, usually on a Tuesday, not every week, and he does my kitchen and some other bits and pieces as well. But it does make me spend money. I mean, for example, do you remember the tea towels I told you about? I've had my tea towels 10 years. There's nothing wrong with them, dear. Absolutely nothing wrong with them. And yet he insists that I buy new ones. Okay, there's a couple of holes in there, sort of about 3 inches round. I mean, they may sound like big holes to me. They only look like small holes to me. Sorry, they may sound like big holes to you. They only look like small holes to me. About 3 inches square, 3 inches round, whatever. And he thinks I need new tea towels. I had to chuck out the microwave because he said it was dangerous. You know, in a microwave, right, inside, you've got that bit of cardboard on the side, haven't you? I suppose where all the electronics is. Well, years ago, that fell off, and I couldn't find the screw. So I put it back up with sticky tape, and it seems to work. Well, he reckons that's dangerous. It didn't fall off again. Is that dangerous? And plus, you know the bottom of the microwave where that thing there, where the turntable is? That had gone rusty. But, I mean, it still seemed to work. The food still got hot. So I've got to buy another one of those because I got told off for that. I quite like being told off. Some people pay for that, don't they? Huh? And what else have I got to buy? Oh, I had a flat screen telly in the other studio, which is now redundant because we're back in the Mirable studio now. So Saturday, I was extremely butch, boys and girls. On Saturday, I removed the telly and the bracket and put it in the kitchen on the wall, all properly. I went down to Sainsbury's Home Base, which is a local DIY place. I got one of those little devices, you know, where you can tell where the wooden bits are in the wall to attach things to. And as you move it along the wall, when it gets to the bit where the wood is, go... So you know where the wood is, the bit where it goes... And as you go down and up, you can hear the wood. And as you go left and right, you move off the wood, you see. So you know exactly where it is. It's all very clever. Very, very clever indeed. So I put my TV on the wall and the wires, oh, the wires look dreadful. So then I got plastic trunking. I went and purchased plastic trunking. Now that was quite funny because I actually went to the DIY place to get this plastic trunking on my bicycle. With a thought in my head, because I've got panniers on the back. You know those what are they called? Panniers on the panniers on the back of the bike. Right, where I put bits of shopping and what have you. And my idea was I'll get this long bit of trunking and kind of bend it over and then put it in there. But when I bought it, I thought, oh, if I bend that, that's just going to break. Or it will it'll create like a fold or something like that in it, won't it? Eh? Which is not good, really. So what I did was I literally stuck it in the bag and put... I think I had a couple of T-shirts in there and put that to hold it upright, and I was cycling along like that with this 6-foot thing. And every time I got to some trees, it would get caught in trees. It was quite funny, really. It must have been very funny to watch. I mean, I don't think it was illegal because a police car did kind of go past me, and I think I could see them chuckling to each other. I mean, that does happen quite a lot. People walk past me, point and laugh. I don't know why that is. Anyway, so that was my weekend. Very, very busy weekend. Doing bits and pieces. Got the trunking back, cut it all to size. And it all looks rather nice. I must say, I'm very proud of that job that I did. And he's downstairs at the moment cleaning the oven. I mean, as I say, I don't class myself as a filthy character. But the last time the oven was cleaned was around about this time last year. Is that bad? I mean, there's nothing alive in there. And surely if you have germs and things in the oven, they all get killed anyway when the oven goes on, don't they? I mean, it's not like lined thick with grease or anything like that. but it is a bit dirty. We buy this oven cleaning stuff, and it comes with a great big plastic bag. And you kind of put the racks inside the plastic bag and pour this acid stuff in. Although, quite honestly, I mean, you can't hear me at the moment, obviously. But he's got acid breath. Do you know what I mean? The way he speaks to you is quite sharp. And I think if he just opened the oven and went into the oven, everything would automatically be clean. The acid would just cut into that. The sort of acid that comes out the same mouth as that dreadful Katie Price. Have you been watching the news? Katie Price, well, not the news so much, in all those dreadful newspapers, News of the World and all those. Oh, yes, she's getting married again. Absolutely, getting married again to that cage fighter bloke who wears women's clothes. And I'm sorry, there's something wrong about men that go around wearing women's clothes. I think there is. I'm sorry, it doesn't do it for me at all. Doesn't do it for me at all. Anyway, we've got a phone call. Millie's on the line. Hello, Millie.
Oh, good morning,
Millie.
Chris. Good morning, Chris. How are you?
You sound like you're about 10 miles away from the microphone.
Hang on. There we go.
Come closer and listen. The beat of my heart goes on missing. My heart goes boom, bang, a bang, boom, bang, a bang, love in my ear. Do you know that song?
No, but it is just what I needed to hear this morning. I've had... it's been kind of a rough week.
It's bad news all around at the moment, Millie. It's bad news all around. So here we are in the morning to try and cheer people up.
Well, do you want to hear my news?
Huh?
Do you want to hear my news?
I hope it's cheery news.
Actually, well, the cheery part of it is that your packages from me and my mum are on the way to you right now.
Oh, what's being sent now? Not another package, Millie.
2 of them.
Okay, don't tell me what's in it. It will be a surprise.
I will give you one hint.
Go on.
One of the things is from Russia.
Russia?
Yes.
Oh, is that wise?
Well,
you know what they're going to send over, dear. We don't know what they're going to send over.
Well, it's been something that you've been hinting at for a while.
Okay. Don't tell me what it is. I'll wait.
I'm not going to tell you. No. But, yeah, I am now going through something similar to what you are with your uncle right now.
Well, best not to talk about that, I think. I haven't brought up mine.
Yep. How is Katie girl?
Well, weren't you with us at the beginning of the show? You weren't, were you?
No, sweetie, I wasn't.
Well, we've done that bit already. We've done that already, Millie. You must join us bang on 11 o'clock, dear.
Well, that's a little difficult to do, seeing that as that's 5
you'll have to listen to the podcast. Everyone else has heard how the cat is. You'll have to wait for the podcast now. We're moved on.
That's not fair.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
You were late. That's it. You were late. If this was an aeroplane waiting to take you on holiday, would you have been late? No.
It depends on the
situation. So why are you late
situation.
for my program, dear?
Because we have a 6-hour time difference. I'm 6 hours.
Right. Well, Katie is going back to the vet at 3:30 this afternoon to see if the tongue is looking any better or if it's the same or any worse.
Oh, I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
So prayers must be said, dear. Prayers must be said.
I have been doing that. I have been doing that since I heard last week. I don't want to see anything happen to that little one.
I know. Well, we're hoping. She's been on my lap this morning watching the telly downstairs.
Oh.
Yes. And my friend Ron's here as well. He's doing the kitchen.
Oh dear. Uh-oh. That means he's cleaning up everything and making everything so neat that you won't be able to find anything, right?
Oh, yes. You are right there.
Uh-oh.
It is rather annoying that that happens, but there you go. I must appreciate it because it's all sparkling and lovely and clean. Yes, it is.
Yes, but now you won't be able to find anything when you need it.
Oh, I'll be all right. Don't you worry about me, young Millie.
Why? Somebody's got to.
How's your podcast going, girl? Because you do your own podcast. Where can we find that?
You can find that on www.milliesworld. That's MILLIESWORLD.com.
All right, milliesworld.com, and there you'll find the latest instalment of Millie's life.
And I must confess, I recorded the last show, and I was just a little teensy bit tipsy.
Oh, no, you're not started the bottle again, have you, my love? Terrible.
No, it's not that.
I have to tell you, boys and girls, Millie is actually a registered alcoholic.
No, that's my mother.
I love it. Can you just tell us a bit about your podcast? Because I need to disappear and turn the air conditioning on in here because it's so hot. 1 minute.
Okay, well, the podcast is called Millie's World, and it's basically something similar to what Chris does, only it's what goes on in my world every week. And the last episode that I recorded, it originated from the cottage in Pelican Rapids where my family has a cabin. I spent the week there. And I was hoping to have my parents appear with me, but they chickened out at the last minute.
Oh, I know what you mean. That always happens to me. Ron keeps saying he's going to come on the show, and then he makes the excuse for not coming up the stairs.
Well, I'll con my mother and father into it eventually.
Yes. Oh, being blown around.
They're not going to get out of it that easily.
Worry not, my darling. Thank you for the call, Millie.
No problem, and let us know how Katie is, won't you?
Yes, that'll all come up on Thursday's show, darling. Don't worry.
All right, and I will try to be on time for the next one, but bear in mind the time difference, all right?
Well, there's no excuse for you, because you're up all night anyway. If you went to bed at a reasonable hour, you'd be there.
Hey, now, wait a minute. You can't talk.
Thank you, Millie. Going now.
Bye.
Goodbye, my love. There we are. The lovely Millie in Minnesota. She's been with us for a long time now. Oh, she does her own podcast, bless her. milliesworld.com, okay? milliesworld.com. Okay, we've got some emails then. Lots of emails here. First of all, one that came in at the end of the last show. Now, I completely forgot, of course, that we have a brand new... oh, by the way, thank you very much to Mark Foster for the pictures that you've sent me there of the gorgeous Kenzie from Ordinary Boys, who looks like he's been going down the gym. He's got one of those six-packs. I mean, come on, lads. We've all got six-packs. We've all got six-packs. It's just that mine is surrounded a little bit by fat at the moment. I don't know why that is. But mind you, I see some of the people in the swimming pool, right? Sometimes I sit and then I look at them and I look at men and I'm thinking, oh, you haven't got much of a problem, Chris. You know what I mean? I mean, rolls of it here. Rolls of it. Alan sent in an email from our new email system. We've got a new email system. If you go to... Oh, I'm not actually quite sure how this works. Just a minute. If you go to unitedkingdomradio.co.uk and you click on... oh, there it is. No, just a minute. What do we do? Watch or what? What do I click on? What? Oh, email the presenter. Whether you've clicked on listen now or watch, you'll find a little thing that says email the presenter. And there, you can send an email from that method. All right? So that's quite easy, that is. Alternatively, you can use the old tried and trusted way of emailing the show by using Chris at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk, right? Chris at unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. And Alan, last Thursday, sent an email from the new email system, which I wasn't actually aware of this thing was working, who says, hi, Chris, love the show. What do you think about packaging, good or bad? Also, you should do karaoke like the good old days. And that's from Alan Terry. Well, Alan, number one, I do karaoke in two places. I do a bar called Belushi's, and they have a branch in Hammersmith, and I do that one on Mondays. And they also have a branch in Borough, which is in South London, and I do that one on Wednesdays, okay? So 2 karaokes. Now, next Tuesday, that's not tomorrow, but next Tuesday, the 6th of July, I'll be doing the karaoke at the Black Cap in Camden Town for one night only, while the usual karaoke host is away. That's the place I was at for 18 years. I was at that place for 18 years. I left in November 2007. I'm going back for one night only, Tuesday the 6th of July at the Black Cap in Camden. All right. What was the other thing you just asked me? Just a minute. You asked me something else there, didn't you? Oh, what do I think about packaging? What, as in the stuff that you get, the packaging that you get, I think it's dreadful. I think it's totally unnecessary. You know, I mean, there are things that do need to be packaged. Say, for example, strawberries and blueberries. But why do they have to be in those plastic things? Can't they put them in, like, cardboard or something like that? I mean, surely they know how to keep these things dry now. So I think there's a lot of packaging is terrible, but most of it, a lot of it, perhaps not most of it even, but a lot of it is, it's just too much of it, isn't there? Eh? Plastic bottles, what you get Coca-Cola in and that sort of thing. Just such a waste. I remember years ago when we used to get fizzy drinks in glass bottles and you would return them. You would actually return them. And you'd get some money back. Remember that? Who remembers going in bins looking for bottles that fizzy drinks had been in? Hmm? Yeah, I've got a little sweet in my mouth. I shouldn't have done that, should I? Gone. Fagas Lil says, well, knowing you, the clock behind you is keeping perfect time. I can hear and see you now, but the time is 11:06. Well, my clock says 11:28. I don't know what you're watching. Says 11:28 on the wall behind me, doesn't it? What are you watching, for God's sake, woman? Very strange. Hello to Suko. Now, she's writing an email here that refers to the show on the 9th of June, so that's a couple of weeks ago, who says, I started writing this letter, re your show from the 8th of June on paper, but my tears were smearing the ink, so I'm rewriting it to email. I was on the edge of my seat listening to your bicycle saga. Would you make it home before the house burnt down? Do you remember this? You weren't there. What you see, you've got to watch every show because this is like one long soap opera. Now, if you ever miss any of the shows, you can catch up by going to the show's main website, unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. You can watch or listen there, right? Once again, unitedkingdomtalk.co.uk. If you missed that episode, just to let you know, I got a new bike. Well, no, sorry. Before I bought my new mountain bike, went over the forest on my old bike, right? I got a puncture in an area where I was lost. Didn't know where I was. Not only that, but my dinner was on in the oven at the time. And I'd already been out about an hour. Okay? She says, would you make it home at all? Phew. Would you make it home before the house burnt down? Thank God you made it. Although when I think of all those little snails you killed, maybe it would have been better. Or I've had to put down the blue things for the snails, I'm afraid, because they eat everything, dear. All my lovely flowers and that in the garden, eaten to stalks. It's shocking. Shocking how these snails carry on. And they just don't care, you know. They don't care. The snails. You know, they eat everything, and it's as like they're just not bothered. Absolutely shocking. It's like they're just not bothered, these snails. So I have to put down the blue things. Absolutely. She says, although I'd be careful where you walk for the rest of the summer, Chris Reardon. Mother snails have been known to use drastic measures of retribution. And when I think of the dearth of escargot this summer, it's too hard to bear. Well, I suppose, you know, if there's anyone French watching the show and you want to come round to my garden and spend a few nights here collecting the snails, I'm only too happy to put you up free of charge. I really am. Get rid of those snails and slugs. Do the French, do they eat slugs as well? I wonder. I mean, surely slugs are just snails but without houses. I think it's terrible. Slugs are clearly homeless snails. What is the government doing to help such things? With the new Conservative government, I think there might have to be cutbacks. There will no longer be homes for shells, for snails, let alone slugs. Those slugs have got a hard life, have they? Not even got a home. At least the snails are carrying around their homes on their backs, aren't they? Oh, dear. Suko says there was an email from Robert in Iceland bemoaning the dire after effects of the volcano Eldjafali. Oh, I don't know what it says on here. It's a long word. As well as the possible dangers of United Kingdom talk facing extinction, which could also mean that you, Chris Reardon, a.k.a. the Duke of Moneybags, are an endangered species. I am an endangered species. I am. Do you know, I am the last Reardon in name? I am. And all that money I've donated to the World Wildlife Fund, for what? Suko says. What, are snails protected? I don't know. And she says, and how could a country that originated shows like Pop Idol, The X Factor and Britain Got Talent do so poorly in the Eurovision Song Contest? Josh was good, but that song must have been rolling their eyes. I think that Simon's Cow and Fuller. Simon Cowell and Simon Fuller were rolling their eyes. And where were they anyway? Well, they're nothing to do with the Eurovision Song Contest, Suko. Simon Cowell. I think he'd like to be. But he's not. What a shame. She says, but to be serious, this is where I am truly lost. The baby birds. Oh, yes. It was all very sad. I had a little nest box. I put a couple of bird boxes on the wall this year, you know, nice and high so the cat couldn't get them. And as I say, if you didn't see that show, you won't know this. So I'll quickly refresh. The birds were going in, a bird going in and out. I could hear little tweeting noises from it. And then I noticed after a couple of days, the bird was no longer going in and out. And then one night went to bed, got up in the morning, and I noticed the hole had got bigger, like something had been pulling at the hole. And left it for another couple of days. Eventually I got a ladder, went up there, opened the bird box, and the little birds were all on their backs, dead, unfortunately. And it was very, very sad. It actually touched me quite a lot, that. Isn't that strange how something perhaps so small can play on your mind? And I still think about those 4 little birds, and I thought to myself, you know, maybe if I'd like poked a few bits of bread through the hole or something like that, because I think they starved to death because the mother stopped coming. Something obviously got the mother, and the 4 poor little birds starved to death, and they were on their backs, and I buried them in the woodland out there. And Suko says, the baby birds, those poor dear little things, your sadness was so sincere. Yes, it was. I know on this show we like to have a bit of a laugh. We take the rise out of everything. But there are some bits, you know, there are some bits. She says, as I'm writing this, I'm welling up with tears again. Nature can be so beautiful, yet so cruel. There is nothing sadder than creatures dying before their time, including snails, she says. Yet it is part of the circle of life. So thank you very much for that, Suko. She also says, I pray your uncle is comfortable and has a peaceful passing, and that your aunt will have the strength to endure the loss. Yes, again, if you're new to the show, first of all, a warm welcome along to you. Yeah, but my uncle has a brain tumour and is not doing very well at all at the moment. So that's what Suko is referring to there. All right, my loves. and he's coming along. Apparently, they've taken him off the medication now for some reason. I don't know why that is, but they have. He doesn't get out of bed. My aunt will be. I don't know. She just is not going to know what to do herself. My aunt is in fact my mum's sister. My mum died in 2000, and there were three of them. There was my mum. There was my Uncle Michael, and there is Auntie Brenda. My mum and Uncle Michael have now gone. Brenda is the last one, you see. And she's just going to be won't know what to do with herself when my other uncle goes, I don't think. Okie doke, let's do a couple of messages there. Thank you, Suko, for that lovely email. Oh, it's Alan. Hello again, Alan. He says, when I said karaoke, I meant on your shows like you did on your last... Oh, that was on the Swish programme I did, Alan. What, you want me to sing on here, on this show as well? Oh, well, the difference is you'd be able to see me, wouldn't you? Which isn't too much. Do you want me to sing on this show? Now, are we allowed to do that? Because it's not actually playing a record. We don't have a music licence. You may have noticed we don't play any music. That's because this is a talk show, and therefore we don't need a new music licence. I'm not sure if I would need a music licence to sing. I don't think I would, actually, because it would be my voice, wouldn't it? Not sure about that one, Alan. I'll look into it. Does anyone else want me to start singing on the show? I don't think they do. I don't think people would want me to sing, because it's a talk show, Alan. I'm afraid I think we might have to abandon that idea before it even... No, it's a talk show, isn't it? No singing on this show. I'm sorry, dear. Thank you, Alan. Nice to hear from you. You're probably glad I've got the email system sorted out. And good morning to Jennifer. Good morning, Jennifer, who said it's very early in America where she is. I think it's, about 20 to 7 in the morning? Who says, this early morning stuff is for the birds. I hate waking up when I'm not early. Well, the good thing is, Jennifer, right, you don't actually have to talk to me, do you? Do you know what I mean? I know exactly where you're coming from, right? I do not like to talk to people in the first sort of 20 minutes of me all I want is my cup of tea first thing in the morning, Jennifer. It's true. I can't be having people talk to me first thing in the morning. Don't like that at all. No. Thank you, Jennifer. But you're not talking. You're kind of relaxing at the moment. Just getting into gear. Switching on your circuits, aren't you? Eh? Vicky writes, good morning, Chris. Do I understand correctly that you don't have to pay a deposit on bottles of soda in the UK? Yeah, that's right. We used to. Years ago. I mean, I'm going back here 25 years. Now you buy a bottle of drink and you no longer pay a deposit on the bottle. That's true. She says, shock horror. Here in New York, we have to pay 5 cents deposit on each bottle of carbonated drinks. And as of this spring, we also have to pay 5 cents on small bottles of water. I think that's what broke my evil habit of buying small bottles of drinking water. Well, that's good. I mean, that is a good thing, Vicky. Paying a small amount of money to have the recycling there. Because if you're going to pay for, if you're going to leave a deposit, you're going to take that bottle back, aren't you? You're not going to throw it in a bin. It's not going to end up, sitting years in a dip somewhere, in a hole in the ground somewhere. Because these plastic bottles will be around for hundreds of years. This is the thing. This is the thing. If you pay a deposit, you're going to take it back, aren't you? Especially if you've got... I mean, I know a lot of people, and I've seen them in the supermarket. They fill up their trolleys with these bottles, don't they? These bottles of water, Coca-Cola, Pepsi-Cola, 7-Up, bottles and bottles of this stuff. If they were paying a deposit for each bottle, they'd take the bottles back, wouldn't they? And this is where we're going wrong in this country. This is one of the things, and this is where you're so right in America. Certainly I don't know if you do it all over America. Certainly in New York, they pay a deposit on the bottle, which is fantastic news. But Vicky, honestly, buying bottles of water. Can you not drink water out of the tap in that country? Don't understand people who buy bottles of water. There's nothing wrong with the water that comes out of the tap. There really isn't. Thank you. Nice to hear from you, darling. Just a minute now. Mikey Holt. Good morning, Mikey. He says, oh, you've sung on United Kingdom radio before. You don't need a licence to sing. It's making your original work, is it? Yeah, but it's a chat show, isn't it? Do you want me to sing? I don't know. I don't know if you want me to sing or not. You don't want me to sing, do you? Eh? No, we won't do it on this show. I'll think about it. If you want me to start singing maybe one song per show, because we did this on the other station that I was on for a while, then I'll think about it. I don't know. I don't think people will want me to sing. Not on here. No. Okay, let's just check the messages here. Oh, yes, Mark says, waking up early. On the subject of waking up early, he says, right, I insist that you join me on a 3 a.m. early shift. Well, I'm always up at 3 a.m., Mark. Come on, mate, I'm not gone to bed yet. My bedtime is usually between 3 and 4. That's my rough bedtime in the morning, okay? He says, let's see if that makes you grumpy. I'm on earlies this week. Today is my last day off from my long weekend. Your long weekends? Blimey, do you do any work? Christ! What's that, Thursday to Tuesday? That's your weekend. Just goes to work 1 day a week, is that right? Mark. I like early morning. I love early morning. It's just that bit where you get out of bed. The first 20, 25 minutes. And if the phone rings, I'm sorry, it does not get answered. I do not answer the telephone at blooming, just after I've got up. I don't. And people know when I'm asleep. People know that I don't get up till about 10 o'clock normally, unless I'm doing a show, in which case I'm up at 9 o'clock doing my preparations. Okay? I also go to sleep between 5 and 7. But people ring up, and on the very, very, very rare occasion, I pick the phone. Hello? I pick the phone up. Hello? I pick the phone up. Yeah. Hello? And they go, oh, were you asleep? And they know you were asleep. Why do they say that? Don't ring me at that time. Thank you. What a cheek. Vicky says, yes, I save all the bottles and then buy myself a treat when I cash in the bottles. Well, treats are a good thing. We like a treat. Oh, I'm tempted. I'm actually tempted by a treat this afternoon. As a little gift to my friend who's cleaning the kitchen, I may take him to a Domino's pizza. We like Domino's pizzas. They're my favourite pizza. I did go to Pizza Hut once. Now, I was always a fan of Pizza Hut. And then we went to this Pizza Hut in... now, let me think. There's a place in London. Yes, the Odeon Cinema was right near the... I think it's the Odeon Cinema in Greenwich. The IMAX Cinema in Greenwich. I don't know if it's an Odeon or not. The IMAX Cinema in Greenwich. There's a Pizza Hut there. And the last time I went there, we had this pizza which was cooked properly and a nice service. But it was tasteless. Absolutely tasteless. Isn't that strange? Don't know why. No idea. And when he came, is everything all right? I said, well... it's not really a complaint, but this just doesn't taste like anything. It had no flavour whatsoever, so I've kind of gone off Pizza Hut a little bit at the moment. My favourite pizzas are Domino's pizza with, of course, extra cheese. Double cheese, I think it's called. I mean, why do you have to ask for extra cheese? Why can't they just put enough on in the first place? You know? Why do we have to ask for double cheese all the time? I don't know. Oh, some news, boys and girls. Now, you might want a pen if you want to help this person out here as well, okay? Now, those of you that know already will know that we put out an appeal for postcards. There's a little boy in America who has cancer, okay? And he wants to collect postcards from all over the world. And a lady who's asked us to send them in, her name is Gloria. And I wrote to her last night, just for the show, asking her how many postcards he'd received, this little boy. Now, I'm going to give you the address in a moment for you to send the postcards to if you want to, okay? He's collecting postcards from all over the world. He's going through some very rough chemotherapy treatment at the moment. This boy is 9 years old. Brave little boy, brave little boy. And Gloria says, I'm not sure of the exact number of postcards that he's received, but I do know that one day Brian's dad had picked up 40 cards from the post office. 2 weeks ago, he had cards, and this is brilliant, you know, when people join together and it's such a it doesn't cost just a few pennies or a few cents to do this. And it means so much to a little boy to have things done for them. Do you see what I mean? Especially if they're ill. You know, it would mean so much to him. 2 weeks ago, the boy had cards from 25 US states and 6 foreign countries. There's also a group on Facebook, which I looked for and I couldn't find this. Apparently, it's called Postcards for Brian, that has over 1,000 members. I did leave a comment asking if they had the total number of postcards Brian has received so far. If I hear anything, I'll let you know. Right now, Amy and her children are here visiting, but when she's back in Omaha, I'm sure she will see Brian. I'll ask her about the postcards if I don't hear anything before then. Thanks for asking. So, yeah, he's getting the postcards in, which is great news. Now, if you want to send this boy a postcard of where you live, or perhaps with a picture, or you could just send a photograph of yourself, couldn't you? You know, use that as a postcard. Then the address to send these to is Brian Botkin, that's Botkin, P.O. Box 492, Boys Town, Boystown, NE 68010, USA. All right. Once again, it's Brian Botkin, Bryan, Botkin, Botkin, P.O. Box 492, Boys Town, Boystown, NE 68010, USA. And you can send in, you know, send the boy any sort of postcard. For example, perhaps you could send something of like where you work or something like that. I mean, you know, our Mark, who works on the railways, maybe you've got a picture of the trains that you work in. Anything to sort of build this boy's spirits up. Okay? Thank you very much for that. Vicky says, do you ever get pizza at a small pizza place or only the big chain restaurants? Admittedly, Vicky, only the big chain restaurants. That's all we have here. We don't really have a little Italian pizza place thing or anything like that round here at all. So, yeah, it's usually from the big chains, I'm afraid, my darling. All right. Lee Mills says, can you do another hour because I've overslept? No, I can't do another. I haven't got time to sit here for 2 hours. Although, we're going to have to throw in another show at some point, simply because it's the stack of emails I've got here is not allowing me to take calls. Now, what I've done, we've done 3 live. This is the 3rd live show now. And I was kind of hoping to clear the emails and then we can start taking calls. The reason that I'm not really pushing the phone number and the Skype at the moment is because there's so many emails and I'm trying to get through those first. To clear them, I could do 2 extra shows at some point and I'll let you know about them. We might have to do that. Otherwise, we're never going to be able to take in calls and things like that. All right, my darling? So thank you for that. Fag Ashlil says, us kids used to earn... Fag Ashlil, incidentally, lovely lady. She's in Hove, actually, which is near Brighton. It's lovely, Hove. I have to say to you, Fag Ashlil, Hove is an area that I would like to live. I love it down there. Not Brighton. It's very, very chavvy in Brighton. Very, very chavvy indeed in Brighton, isn't it? Brighton is not an area I would want to live. I would love to live in Hove. Really would. Beautiful place. Beautiful place. And I went out with someone. Now, I think he lived down a road called 2nd Avenue. Isn't there a 1st, 2nd and 3rd Avenue, which is in Hove? Do you know where I mean? I'm sure it was called 2nd something or other. Something like that. And Fag Ashley says, we want singing, we want singing. You can't want singing. You can't want singing. I don't believe you. Eh? If you're watching the show on podcast, then my email address, if you want to join in at any time, that's fine. You don't have to join in live. If you've watched this show a day later or a year later even, you could be watching this show in a year's time. Today is, I'll tell you what today is. It's the 29th of June, 2010, and it's 11:50 in the morning. Okay? It is. Oh. Lee says, do you read your site emails? Well, I've just been doing those, haven't I? Are you deaf? And you sent one, didn't you? Didn't you just send one? I've just read it already. Are you deaf? Pay attention. I don't need a producer, dear. Don't need a producer, thank you. Professional. What? Eh? You can't want singing. Jennifer says, oh, hello, Dallas. Good morning, Dallas. Dallas is Jennifer's little girl who says, I completely agree with Millie, and it's been hard to get the live show now. I just woke up, and your voice was in my dreams, because I guess I was waking up and you were some doctor guy. I don't think I could be a doctor, Dallas. Oh, no, I can't be a doctor, Dallas. No, all that cutting people apart, no, thank you. My mum said to tell you she's just jumped dumpsters for aluminium cans to recycle. Well, that's all for the moment. Good morning. Thank you, Dallas. Nice to hear from you, Dallas. Right, where are we going now? What were we saying? Yeah, so we might have to throw in another show or two just to clear the emails, all right? Let's have a look. Hello to Jeremy. Jeremy has been with the show for a couple of years, actually. And he writes, yes, I would love to listen to the live podcast, but it would mean getting up at 5 o'clock in the morning to listen to you. Well, if you really loved me, you would. That's okay. I understand. I'm not loved. That's what it is. And I can understand that. I can understand that. And good morning to a very, very good friend of mine, Heidi. Heidi Taylor. Good morning, Heidi. How are you today? Heidi is in a very, very posh part of London, Earl's Court. And she used to come into a bar I work there, Harpo's. Oh, it all used to happen there. I don't dare tell you what used to go on in that place. Shock, horror, what goes on in there. I mean, not at the front of the stage, mind, where I worked. Things used to go on there that you do not want to know about. Good morning, Heidi. Nice to see your little face. Anyway, Jeremy says, I'd love to listen to the live content. It would mean getting up at 5 o'clock to listen. Love your show, but I love my sleep a bit more. Are you suggesting that you actually love your sleep more than you love